Here we go, folks. Time for this one to kick off. And man, I'm actually giddy with excitement because of how good these games have been. Best series in this tournament by a country mile.
One of the best, series I think we've ever seen in Smite. And I predicted at the start of this that if Enemy won game 1, it was going to be a 3-1. And I think Enemy are going to outdraft here and win this. I think it's going to be a 3-1.
Okay, we get it. You really like Enemy. We get it. It's cute.
Hey, man, I said they were going to lose every game for like the past 3 months, and gotta.
So now you believe? Now you believe?
I believe.
Okay. You didn't catch that reference. It's okay.
I believe in the Bellona too. The 3-2 comeback here. Absolutely.
Ban coming out there. Enemy banning Freya, saying they didn't want to deal with the Freya again. Perhaps taking away from having to build that extra magical defense. Magical defense, Adam's not the strongest in the game. You usually want to lean towards that physical defense.
Bellona.
And we have the double Guardian bans coming out from Paradigm, leaving Bellona as the obvious first choice here, and that's what we're looking for Enemy.
I feel like the Soul outperformed the Freya by a long shot in the last game, which is curious as to why they would ban the Freya over the Soul. But maybe late game the Freya just really came online and threw them some fights that they couldn't win.
Really nervous about Bellona there for Enemy as well. I mean, we've seen what Enemy could do with Bellona and how much of a impact she made in game 2. But Sobek is going to get locked in as well as Soul. So what do you guys think about these first 2 picks coming out of Paradigm?
I think, the Sobek is a very good counter matchup to the Bellona. Xaliea did well in the lane last time, and the Soul is Lawbster. Great showing, so excited to see this. I like Pain going for the Geb. They know exactly what's happening there. Target banning him. His Bacchus has not been strong in both games we've seen it, so I think going for the Geb here is a really good draft choice.
This is definitely the Enemy perfect lineup right now. They got the Bellona, they got their defensive support, and of course they got their Zhong for the mid lane, which has been working very well for them. On the other side of Paradigm, we have the Sobek, which is, of course, for the counter pick to Bellona, tail whip him out of the hammer strikes. So that's great. And of course, Soul was amazing last game on Lawbster. I'd be surprised if it didn't go right back to him.
These are the exact picks and bans that Enemy wanted. This is their dream once again. And the question is, how are Paradigm going to round out? I think this feels like we're going back to the same game they lost in game 2. This is the same composition.
I feel like there's more thought behind it, though. It's they are specifically going for Pain, and the Soul, they've picked that up, which was really good. Sobek is, that's very good against the Bellona, and Xbalanque, as Zapman pointed out before, is very good against Zhong because of the way the ultimate works, and then Zhong can't chase the entire team, everyone splits off, and then it's very difficult for them to actually capitalize on it. So far, Enemy, you are right, they've gotten exactly what they wanted, but I think Paradigm, there we go.
It'll be a Hunbats, to be fair, though. It's the Hunbats is still
they
scary.
could take that, they can take the Hunbats in the 4th pick position, and then where does it just go? Because we have not seen him play any other gods.
My big problem right now with the Paradigm lineup is, once again, it doesn't look like we're going to have any peel for our carries unless Xaliea peels on the Sobek, which he can, being on Sobek, but he hasn't done that yet, so he has to change his playstyle.
And it's going to be rough. Xaliea and Trix, they are both very aggressive frontliners, and you need to switch it up. And I like the Guan Yu ban by Enemy here. I think that's something that Paradigm was looking to run back.
How good would Ares be here, do you think? I mean, the immediate downside to me is that if they run it with the Xbalanque, it would be trouble. But if then Xbalanque can only go duo, so it's, they'll lose a lot of pressure by doing that. But it does seem like it would fit well against the Zhong, Geb, and Bellona.
I would actually love to see Bacchus. There's no reason not to. Combine the Xbalanque Bacchus ult. You can't stop the Drunk, which means you're going to get stunned from the Xbalanque ult. And there we're leaning towards the Bacchus. Not only is this one of Trixtank's best Guardians, it also is a fantastic combo for the Xbalanque, and it has peel potential if he wants to do it.
This, I feel like, if we're going to go with the meta that we've seen from Enemy, this is 100% going to be Hunbats Neith. Although I like Chiron over Neith, but they always just pick the Neith over Chiron.
I would love to see the Chiron here. Honestly, it worked so well for them. I don't know why they wouldn't just run back the Chiron, not to mention it's such a safe god.
Makes a lot of sense. We'll see what Enemy goes with here. And Neith, Ataraxia, you had a bit of a reaction to that.
I feel like Vetium is too stuck to this god. He had an amazing showing, to be fair to him, at Super Regionals. At Worlds, I do not think he's had the same presence, and I really wish he would go back to Chiron. Chiron was really good for him.
I almost would have rather seen Rom.
Anyone that's not Neith, because they need a carry.
Rom.
They need a carry, and I don't feel... it's another team fight team, and I think that they need a stronger presence for the late game.
I agree.
All right, boys. Well, the God of Thunder has been locked in. Let's go ahead and make the lightning round predictions. Adonis, you.
Paradigm's draft looks much better than before, but Enemy takes this 3-1.
Enemy takes it.
Paradigm.
Let's go Paradigm. All right, folks. This is it. Do or die once again for Paradigm. Do they do it? Do they force a game number 5? Make some noise, and let's go ahead and toss it over to the casters.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. This is exactly where we wanted to be. I don't know about the individual teams that are on the stage. I'm sure they both have some situations that they'd rather be in, but this is all up to Paradigm. You mentioned it before, one game at a time.
One game at a time is the big key here. I'm surprised, though, because me and Aurora were discussing picks and bans, too.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen them either take the Humbats or take the Circuit instead of the Bacchus there and force a just onto something we've not seen him play too comfortably. Because you said yourself, his Thor, you're not so sure about.
I think his Thor is okay, but going to what F-Dot said, I think they want to be here for sure. They have a chance to make to the finals and the World Championships for Smite. That's crazy. I want to be up there, and I'm not.
It's just one of those situations where Paradigm would rather be up 2 games. You know what I'm saying? This is where we want to see these teams, and everybody's going to get ready into the game. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, your game 4 between Enemy and Paradigm semifinals here at the Smite World Championship.
So give it up if you want Enemy to win this game, North America.
That's a loud crowd out there, folks.
All right. And do you want to see Paradigm make it 2-2? That's kind of close.
That's
I think we got more Paradigm in here, I think.
That's cut right down the middle, if
That
you
was
ask
close,
me.
yeah.
Hard to tell either way. 30 seconds before everything gets underway. Enemy and Paradigm, no jokes. Before we saw grouping of 5. Now everybody's just standing. We don't want to mess around.
But I think Thor wasn't a good pick here for Paradigm because, I don't know, I don't like it too much into Zhong. We saw it in Super Regionals. We can play it into Zhong when Enemy was playing it, and he had a really bad ult into the back, and even though we're up 3 kills, it didn't really do anything.
I agree, but what I actually feel this game is we may see a difference out of Qvofred this time round. He's been doing a lot of focus on the solo laner, on Salt Machine in these engagements early on. With this pick of Thor, Neith is a prime opportunity to go in and get aggressive there and shut Vetium down instead.
Yeah, Zatman was saying that the other day. He says he really likes Thor into Neith. He thinks it's a really good, so I can see why they're doing it there. But with Geb and Zhong Kui, I don't know if I like this Thor as much as the Batz did last game.
Exactly. When a Thor dunks down on a Zhong Kui, he's still able to do what Zhong Kui does. He hits the 4 as soon as Thor comes down, and he's still channeling while he's stunned. So.
And they also have the Geb shield, so whoever he lands on, Geb's shield will come right up and it'll stop the stun, and they'll be able to run away from the Thor.
Big talking point, though, once again, is Qvofred. He's had a great tournament so far. Honestly, his name has been rung through every single game, win, lose. He's still been involved in these matchups. It's a good shout out to him. Even though Thor may not be the best pick here, I'm sure he'll make it work again.
Qvofred's done it before. We'll see how it works out here. This one, you know, it's do or die here. Enemy wins this one, they go on, and that's it for Paradigm. Paradigm still have not just this one, but they also have to win a game 5.
But going back to pick and ban again, I really think the Athena ban was all right. Pain's a phenomenal Athena player, but I really think as a team, Enemy plays so well with Geb and Khepri. Those should be the 2 support bans that they should be banning out.
Yeah.
And Pain got one of them this game, and he's on Geb. Khepri's a little bit better, but Geb could just almost do the same thing.
Well, hey, we'll look at that if we get to a game 5. But for now, we've got this game on. Everyone just continuing to farm up. There's no early signs of aggression from either side here. Sobek versus Bellona. Going as you'd expect it in the early stage with Bellona. Just pushing up nicely in that lane. And the duo side of things, Neith and Geb putting the pressure on the Xbalanque Bacchus early.
Yeah, and solo lane, we won't really see it till level like 7, 8, or 9. Sobek will start being able to clear the wave easily. It'll just be some farm lane unless there's a gank that comes out.
You know, I'm really interested to take a look at Adjust's Batz. He's fantastic at this god. Good enough for Paradigm to know to ban it. Game number 1 and 2, the Party Monkey was not available. Now that Paradigm switched, their ban strategy and go towards the supports to take them off the board, that's open the Batz. Circuit Circuit went a different way, and now we have a team fight jungler for enemy. This could pose a problem.
Really big notice there of how the pings came out on the map, just to show that Paradigm were at the back harpies on the left, because the enemy dual lane had pushed up. They wanted to make sure they weren't going to get rotated on. That's why they backed up and relieved the pressure in that lane there, just because of the timings of that. At the same time, Qvo is now in this area. He has the ultimate, and guess what? He's looking towards Vetium as we expected.
He hammered in here. It just looks like he's going to get the wave.
Just pick up the wave, back to mid lane he goes as PainDeViande will hit level 5 shortly with Vetium in this lane in tow. I think it's like half a wave to go. No, been one more wave I expect. It's close anyway between the two.
Very close to it. A lot of different. This is a much different story though than the last one, where we're sitting here counting the minions to level 5, waiting for Ares to go in. This lane is a little bit more calculated.
Yeah, it's just going to be a farm lane. Bacchus has some kill potential, but Xbalanque really doesn't. So
Exactly.
they're just going to be looking to get as many minions as they can. I don't think a lot of players are going to lose a lot of gold. It looks like they're pushing in here, but Neith just backflips. No danger at all. She'll be able to pick up the rest of the minions with her 2 and autos. And it looks like Geb's rotating mid already, so they might be looking for something.
Well,
possibly a blue buff invade.
Yeah.
Thor is in the back of the jungle, and he could ult up at any moment.
Let's find out here. The blue buff is not flashing just yet, but under the tower, it looks like it just was looking for a potential pick onto Xaliea here. Under the tower, looking to try and swing around and get a big
He just
fear. No
picked up
evil
teleport.
ultimate off. The teleport back in comes out from Xaliea as the blue now spawns. The pressure in that lane.
There it
but
is.
look at this. Paradigm rotating into protect as
Yeah,
well.
they're coming in from 2 separate sides. Xaliea from the right, already channeling in the ultimate. Just the threat of that is going to force enemy out of there. They know that everybody else is here. Lawbster gets a slow on Khaos, but immediately turns around to look at the solo lane. Salt Machine surrounded, but Paradigm not pushing it. They didn't want to come too far because of the threat.
It was some pressure there, but no, blink hit from
Different
PainDeViande.
story.
Cataclysm. Xaliea does not have his ultimate available.
First blood.
First blood goes down, but
Thor's in the
Qvo
air.
is in the air.
Where's he
gonna
landing?
duck
Where's
to?
he landing?
Go mid.
Safely.
Blue buff going to get invaded now by enemy there, so good opportunity for them to capitalize. Xaliea uses ult early to try and get him off the blue buff, wait for reinforcements. Trixtank not going to be able to defend that one, has to flop away. PainDeViande on that Cataclysm Aurora, so good.
Yeah, really good Cataclysm coming out by PainDeViande. He's been playing so well. Look at that knockup on Soul. She's going to get forced to use her immunity here, but she looks like she's not in any danger at all.
No, he's not panicking just yet as Lawbster. He's just being very, very careful because he knows he's
There
going to
we
deal with
go.
Chaos in mid lane too.
It's just a Geb. It is a much different story than being caught out by an Ares in the jungle right there. So Geb really not posing much of a threat. Lawbster intelligently holds his abilities and waits to meet up into the lane.
Early on, though, enemy will be very happy with how this game's gone on roll. They've not been pressured too much. Qvo's done one attempt when he's got into the air, and that was even after the fact that enemy found that first blood. Are they just going to be happy to just let this one keep wavering like this and just keep farming up and getting themselves to that mid game?
Yeah, especially more this game. Now they have the Geb, they have the Bellona as well. They also have the Neith, which Vetium's just been putting on a show with this. And then they have the signature Zhong that they've been playing all tournaments. So I think enemy's much happier this game with their composition, and I feel like they're fine just letting this one farm out. And right now they have the lead, so they just got to keep snowballing this.
We saw this at the beginning of the last game too, though, where enemy had a good opportunity at the start. Hang that fort, they're looking for Xaliea again. Full rotation in.
Xaliea not going to get stunned. Smart
Oh,
channeling of
it's a
the ultimate, but
kick.
it just goes ahead, takes the blink in. Salt Machine wants to be aggressive as well.
Fear No Evil
Both
is
members
up.
are in trouble. There's the Fear No Evil overhand smash, but the tower chases off a Just.
But it just needs to be careful now because rotations are coming in. Is Qvo up
Thor's
in the
in the
sky?
air.
Is he going to dunk down? No, the blink curly, but he waited and held it. Thor is jumped down here into the jungle looking for a pick, not going to find it.
Rally here
Instead,
comes over the top!
He's been aggressed on instead, and now it's the boys of Paradigm going to run away. Trixtank with a good belly flop, but he's now slowed down. He's got to escape. Trix intoxicates to relieve the pressure on himself. Paradigm survive, as does enemy.
Yeah, just a lot of damage for really nothing.
Crazy engagement over there for, like you said, nothing. Both teams going aggressive. I'm surprised though, it just went back and he was feeling himself then.
Yeah, that was crazy. I thought he was going to ult a lot sooner there. He waited pretty long for it. I think he didn't know if he had enough damage or not, but he ended up having to ult or he would have died to the Sobek.
I honestly think a Just was saving the ult. I think that he thought that 2-on-1 under the tower, the kill was possible without Fear No Evil. And unfortunately, for as much I gave enemy a lot of credit for not pulling the trigger on their ultimates, I think that was a misstep.
Honestly, what happened was he jumped to the monkey expecting Xaliea to jump out of his ultimate.
Exactly.
Them drop the Fear No Evil, find the kill. When he used the Fear No Evil on the disengage there, he wasn't really looking for the kill. He was trying to stay alive because he was afraid of Sobek coming in with a charge prey and picking him. Wasn't available to him anyway. And instead he turned around, tried to change it 1-for-1. Great play by both teams, just the calculations between both of them.
Another interesting thing to note, it looks like Sobek's teleport's going to be coming up first, so he's going to be able to back with no problems at all and pick up some items. He's probably going to be able to pick up, can we see Golden Hand, please?
Have a little look at that, 1100.
He's going to be able to pick up the first rank of breastplate. It'll help a little bit for this next blue buff fight, but we might see an invade coming up. But Paradigm spots it, and they're just going to help him take the blue buff.
Well, this is what Trixtank does, though. We mentioned it in early games where there was a lot of focus onto Funballer from enemy because they know Trixtank doesn't hang in that lane very often whatsoever. He likes to be in the mid and on the solo side, and they're actually ganking Salt Machine on the right, and he's all alone this time.
Yeah, there's 3 members, and that's
See
just
ya!
posted. Qvofred gets credit for that off the assist of the solo and support.
Left-hand side, enemy trying to make something happen. You saw it just swing around, look for the red buff, just to answer back in some way to that gank attempt. But Paradigm, they're on point right now, and a good answer back evens things up.
Like we were talking about last game, we didn't really see PainDeViande hit any intoxicates, and right there, right away, we saw Trixtank get a great intoxicate off to finish off the kill.
Really good work from the boys of Paradigm. They've got, like you said, one game at a time, every single one. And this thing's hold right inside and invade this time from Paradigm.
Yeah, just wants to help out, but he just can't. There's 3 members one more time. And a good wall from Qvofred. Going to make sure, just in case, I just got a little excited about it.
Even the Hunters were like positioned over towards the Gold Fury area there for a second, looking at potential rotation if required. Obviously, World Weaver and the Xbalanque ultimate Darkest of Nights both make an impact in these team fights. Which one do you prefer more?
I really like the Darkest of Nights. It blinds everybody on the map no matter what. World Weaver can get blocked. It stuns one target. It's better than Darkest of Nights in some situations, but usually in the late game team fights, a blind and everybody that makes them stop moving and you can't see anything is usually better than one single target stun.
And as the analyst said, the combination with Bacchus' Intoxicate there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah, that's one of those interactions that are just, it's a lot of fun to pull off. Sometimes it's not necessary, but when you do get that kill, it's almost inevitably a kill.
And one crazy thing, too, to keep in mind is you could actually not get stunned when you're intoxicated by the Xbalanque if you back or if you go the opposite direction that you're wobbling right as soon as the Xbalanque ends. It's very hard to do, but if you time it right, you don't get stunned. That's one just fun fact.
So if you press back, just as that happens.
Well, no, you have to go the other way that you're not walking, because you know how you stutter back and forth.
Two left, two right.
Yeah.
Two left, two right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that goes on, but look at this, just rotating around for Xaliea this time.
Nice ult.
Nice timing of Xaliea with the ultimate. World Weaver was coming in too there, will connect. Not enough damage to kill Xaliea. But look at this now, Paradigm might be able to position for a Gold Fury off this.
Yeah, we'll take a look as Lawbster, he's going to protect the entrance at the very least. Paradigm starting the Gold Fury. Funball looking towards it. Not quite.
Qvo's up.
Instead, Qvo's going to go up in the sky, look directly towards the mid lane. Down on top of Khaos. Bees have been used. Monkey's going to jump into the main. He'll be fine. Khaos, on the other hand,
not going to find him. They don't have the enhancer on it. Instead,
Nice
Funballer's in
cataclysm.
trouble. Funballer's going to try and get away from this, but Lawbster did manage to pick up the kill on PainDeViande there. I thought Funballer would fall on the stun from Lawbster escaping. Salt Machine, a little bit too late in the rotation. He's still trying, though.
got to keep chasing. Paradigm's low. Needs to catch any mistakes. That's what this rotation is about. They knew the Paradigm was safe if they played it right, but just in case, you go ahead
They
and
might be
chase
trying to
anyway.
do gold, and maybe just mids. Yeah, they're calling
Just
off
mids.
now, yeah.
Good attempt, though, from Manny to try and answer back there. Funballer, if you saw him, he went into tower range to hit the tower to get the bowler to branch off and find that pick. But it set Vetium up to burst him back. Very, very good play from both teams.
That was awesome.
Love those small interactions. Again, it's about really understanding your character. We also saw Funball use the ultimate and use that range. That's one of the least thought about things when it comes to Xbalanque. When you use that Xbalanque Darkest of Nights, the obvious that we talked about a lot, but it also increases his basic attack range by so much.
Look at how much they're favoring the blue buff over here. Qvofred was there 5 seconds before the blue buff spawned. Sobek's really love their blue buff. So
I think it's all about Xaliea as well. Xaliea wants to feel confident in these games. When he's had a good game, when he's a good matchup, he's performed well. He's been in negative matchups, and it's not shown very well for him. Salt Machine's had a better time of it. And honestly, Bellona has been a big impact for Salt Machine in these games.
A lot of grouping towards the mid lane now. We just passed the 10-minute mark. Teams starting to think about the Gold Fury. We've seen both of these teams really look at gold and then walk away. Look at gold and then walk away. What kind of opportunity needs to open itself up before we see a big objective?
We either can see a pick or they just need to bait them into Gold Fury. Right now, like I've been saying for this entire tournament, enemy is fine being in this spot.
Yep.
Paradigm needs to make a bigger separation than this. The games, even again, they're fine with going on later and later and later and just keep farming and farming and farming until they hit their full team fight potential.
Yeah, enemy, they don't really have this late game composition. They can't really play this slow game. They have a Neith and a Batz, and on the other side there's a Soul and a Xbalanque.
I think enemy's late game team fight's fine. The Neith and the
Zhong?
The Humbots are still really good. Humbots has an AoE ult, and he also has crits, so that's good. And the way Vetium's been playing this Neith in the late game, awesome disengagements, really, really good ultimates, and he's still at 80 carry. He's still going to be putting out some damage.
This left-hand side, both the junglers over here. Good wall coming out from Qvofred to try and deny him.
Did he steal that?
Purple away. I'm not sure. I think
he
just
did.
get that buff. Yep. Picks it up and it's going to rotate back to his jungle again.
It's like, thank you very much.
And one thing we spoke about in Super Regionals was a matter of front line of gods. It was 3 frontliners were the ones that won the game. As you see, a little bit of a trade-off between the two there, but 3 frontliners on each side this time, because Qvofred on that Thor will play as a frontliner for the most part, and you've also got PainDeViande, Khaos, Zhong is a frontliner, trust me, alongside saltmachine.
Oh yeah, Zhong definitely counts as the frontliner.
And then they've still got a Just in the background that can just jump in and out with PainDeViande on the gap.
Saltmachine here, we'll check in one more time. Half HP versus the very, very healthy Xaliea on his Sobek. Knocking around Bellona one more time, but she'll be all right thanks to the Scourge.
Yeah, her teleport's coming up soon as well, so she can choose to base if she sure wants to here. You can see Xaliea trying to deny the teleport back to base on that right-hand side. As Qvofred's hanging around the area here to see the speed, but mid lane, Darkest of Nights has been used as we're looking for some aggression to Pain. They're just coming in, and it forces a teleport actually from Saltmachine there as well.
I think he's fine with that. Sobek's going to get some tower damage. He might actually be able to take it. Yeah,
that's why I mentioned the teleport. But look at this Pain trying to make something happen. Blink Cataclysm on
he
Qvofred,
got the hammer, but the perfect bead
was perfectly timed to make sure he could jump to his hammer. And the World Weaver is down as well. Does the tower fall on the right side? It clearly does. Xaliea making something happen.
Bacchus might be looking for something here.
Will he look for something in the mid lane now?
Yep, Trixtank coming around the right-hand side. Looking to jump over the wall. Decides better, going for a more direct approach. Waiting here, he's backing actually. Bacchus won't be here.
PainDeViande going in with the Blink Cataclysm. That just looked like they were trying to force something here, enemy, because they had the teleporting from Saltmachine. Saltmachine wasted teleport. They were going to lose a tower on the right-hand side anyway, but now it's allowed them to try and make something happen instead. But Paradigm are the one that come out on top.
Wards is what I'm looking at. Last game, we saw Paradigm really punish enemy for not putting down enough wards and take away this sort of free surprise fire giant. We'll take a look at the adjustment enemy has made. There's sentry wards, one just fell. There was 2 sentry wards on the left-hand side. You saw a little bit of vision on the right as well. So enemy right away making that adjustment and dropping a couple of more wards.
Both teams know that the only gap that's going to be created realistically is around this Gold Fury when it finally does fall. We're starting to get to the stage of the game where the Gold Fury will start being worth a little bit more gold as time goes on.
It's interesting. Look at the Hunter's builds. Neith is going into the Itchy Vault, which he's been doing all tournament. Vetium likes that build.
Yep.
And we see attack speed boots coming out of Xbalanque.
He did that last game too.
Yeah, attack speed boots are good on Xbalanque because he has 2 steroids. He has the power in his bolas, which is his one, and he also has his passive every time he gets a kill. It looks like a fight might start, but they're just going to both back off.
I think if the front would have landed there, they would have gone for the full burst combo onto him.
Yeah.
But poking it just down a little bit will hurt. Luckily, Bumba's Mask playing effect there with the red buff, just going to be able to heal himself up a little bit, but another wall and double stop. Qvofred's on fire today. He's doing good work.
Just always on point.
Just nice.
Qvofred playing, yeah, exactly. Really is, I mean, just good stuff. Thor, Qvofred, always a mechanical player. Going to show off just a little bit. And like you said, poking out. That's really what it is. Not looking for the full engage, just a little bit of poke.
Now, the big key is going to be when the solo lanes start to get involved around the Gold Fury. Now, the tower's over on that right-hand side. Obviously, we know the tier 1's fallen, but now we can see Saltmachine starting to answer back in this lane once more. He should be able to put some tower pressure on as well. When the teleports come into play, that's when it'll happen.
Look at the gold. Saltmachine was able to build himself up a 400 gold lead just from the early game from Sobek getting pushed into the tower over and over again. That's pretty big, and that's what we're seeing why the gold is spread out a little bit. Paradigm still is in favor, but they should be ahead a little bit more. If Saltmachine didn't have that lead, I feel like it wouldn't be as enemy wouldn't be as good as a spy as they are right now.
Yeah, it would have been a little less detrimental for them. Paradigm, though, 2-1 in this game so far. Balanced most of the time on a knife edge. This one,
Oh, yeah.
could still go either way.
Yeah, I love the way you said that, balanced on a knife's edge, because just as well as it's balanced there, we've seen this game get sliced open very quickly in the past couple of matches.
Trixtank trying to zone them out from coming back to mid there, but with the support, is that Qvofred going to the sky? No, it wasn't. It was Lawbster doing that. I thought Qvofred was going up, but Xalia's made a rotation in here to support those Harpies on the right.
But did we see Xaliea start with a starter item? He already sold it if he did, and he picked up a Void Stone. And the reason why is because Bacchus does so much damage with the Void Stone and also Soul. This item makes 3 people do a crazy amount of damage, and having this and selling your starter item to get it, I kind of like it. It's kind of interesting at the same time, but I like it. I think it's smart. If they get into a team fight, it's going to give them a lot of power.
But
Yeah, I absolutely love it.
too. Magic resistance as well, as we watch PainDeViande take
Look
a
at
little bit
that
of
poke through a Geb shield too.
Well, that's Soul, right?
Yeah.
That's just what Soul does, the poke from range and the slow applied as well.
And the Thor double tap.
Going back to the Void Stone again, though, it gives you magical protection as well as magical reduction on the enemy team, so it allows the extra mages to do more damage.
Yep.
This is really
key.
the fun part of watching these super high-end matches, is that all of these items that aren't really traditionally purchased, we see them at this end because all of the niche, really, the situations that they're useful really make them matter when you're playing against players of this caliber.
Void Stone's purchased a lot. I feel, what the niche part about it is that he sold his starter item to pick it up so early. That's the interesting part about it.
I think it's because they know the Golf Fury is going to be such an important thing. Hold that thought, right-hand side, aggression coming out onto Salt Machine, but he doesn't back away for an inch.
Not at all.
Tries to time the Eagles right to avoid the burst,
caught
but
the World
just
Weaver.
coming in there. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, but yeah, World Weaver was caught in mid because it was being channeled onto Xaliea.
Yeah, I think it was one of these players that are finding themselves right here in the jungle, sort of by the fire giant.
By Trix's health there, looks like it just caught him on the rotation. And Funballer still in the duo lane though, continuing to farm up. Vetium's made a rotation to mid lane now. Going to start heading back over towards this Gold Fury with his team.
Yeah, Funball is extremely happy with doing this. Xbalanque does more damage than Neith in team fights, but I like how enemies' team comp synergizes with each other a little bit better than Paradigm's. I feel like Paradigm has more damage, and if they're able to burst down one of the backliners, I feel like they could take the game really easily, but enemies' comp is just more overall. They could kind of do whatever they want. They could have Salt Machine go in, they could have Pain go in, they could just wait for a counter initiate, they could initiate an objective. They have a lot of options. I feel like Paradigm's comp is they have a lot of damage to the frontliners, or they have a lot of damage to the backliners. So I feel like it's kind of a weird mix.
Xaliea right now being aggressed on by Salt Machine, but this is just more of the same. We're watching these solo laners go back and forth, really just, and what that is, it's interesting because that's just waiting for the opportunity. Eventually, a jungler is going to come. And if you keep fighting, then you don't show your cards. If you only fight when your jungler is there,
Here we go. We might
obvious.
get a Thor gank. Speaking about junglers,
He's hanging around the corner here looking for a big Vetium. Funballer happy to trade, but I think Vetium should smell something out. Gives it a good backflip.
We got him coming around the back.
But yeah, just with the blink in, Finna Weevil Qvofred uses beats and ultimate to escape that engagement, and he will get out before PainDeViande can reach round from behind.
Yeah.
And if that was late game, if we see that again coming out of Qvofred and he tries to ult up in front of him, there's a Humbots and a Neith shooting. So if they get hit, they're dead.
Salt Machine finds himself in the mid lane. Making the rotation from the right side of the map. Xaliea, on the other hand,
Gold Fury.
No, Gold Fury already down low. Here comes Trix. A little bit too late. Enemy get the Gold Fury. That's the first real objective of the map at 20 minutes.
Trying to answer back here immediately.
They can't get out.
PainDeViande. Blink into the backside though from Khaos. They will fight Pain. Maybe no. Eagles really up for life for a second. Funballer gets a stack, but on the backside there, Lawbster.
They could wall Salt Machine. They did.
There it is. Salt Machine stuck in the middle, and he's in the middle of 3 Paradigm jerseys.
Just now jumps in, trying to support somersaults away. The flip comes off from Xaliea, doesn't find it. Good backflip from Vetium to disengage as well. Big talking point there is the Gold Fury goes to enemy, relatively uncontested.
Yeah, I think there was a good trade of Geb for a Gold Fury. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'd trade you for a Gold Fury, bro.
Hindu, how could you?
I'm sorry.
Mid lane tower goes down. Paradigm does what they can to stop the bleeding. 500 gold taken off, and that basically evens up the game one more time.
Hang on, we say evens up the game, but there is an experience difference here between these two teams, and it's in Paradigm's favor here.
Yep.
How is this?
He literally stopped his back. Sorry.
How is it? You're such a troll. You're like, ah. How did this experience gather itself for Paradigm here, Raw? What is the difference? Where does it come from?
It's just how they're farming. I feel like Sobek made some weird rotations. That's how they got the experience lead on him.
Right.
I feel like Bellona did as well, but they were able to stay in the lanes longer and farm. And they've been waiting a long time at these buffs. Like again, right there, they waited 5 seconds for the blue buff to spawn.
But it's Qvofred who was one of the experience advantage there. As we look at mid lane now, being pressured down by 4 members. Not many people here to defend. Trixtank trying to body block a little bit of Vetium's auto attacks. But round the back comes saltmachine to zone out Funballer. Trixtank still here. Xaliea already priming the ultimate to go in and look for the burst damage. And Thor gets dunked on as well. Bursted as well. Fear no evil from Adjust. And a good shield from PainDeViande keeps Khaos healthy. Qvofred's in trouble. Very low on mana. Ghost chasing him down. As is the monkey on his back. Now we're going to see
Thor comes
Lawbster.
over the top and finishes off Khaos.
2 members of Paradigm very, very low in the mid lane. Xalia's going to join them. Saltmachine's going to stop Trixtank in his tracks. Adjust off of the assist. Picks up a kill.
That's the overhand smash of Vetium with the end hand finds it. Saltmachine looking for the bloodshed, doesn't find it. Funballer, Lawbster is here. He's not going to find the damage he wants, but they do defend the tier 2.
Beautiful defense coming out from Paradigm, but it's not without a price. 3 members take a spill. Lawbster and Funball, the only ones that did not die. Enemy, they're going right for it. Saltmachine backs, Saltmachine teleports, Saltmachine tanks. This tier 2 tower is down.
And this is what we saw yesterday. Saltmachine runs into the tower, starts tanking it up, and gives them a shield so they can just take the towers faster and faster. We saw that last year with TSM in Worlds, and now it's Enemy instead.
Enemy in a very good spot now. That 3,000 gold lead. They've evened up the experience difference too between the 2 sides, and they're looking over towards this right-hand side a little more now.
I like this. They're taking their time to get ward coverage as they walk back into their buffs. Right now, Paradigm has some pretty good wards up of their own,
Yeah, I like
but
those.
Enemy controls the Fire Giant wards right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of aggressive vision coming out from Paradigm, and they're just now going to go ahead and take out the objective vision as well. So Paradigm, they know where Enemy want to go, are, and will go.
And that's why they just walk straight out base, straight over to the Fire Giant, clear it up because they know Enemy have to back. They can catch somebody here.
Beautiful catch. Vetium beads a little bit too late.
He gets a good route off though, which was important to stop the chase coming out from the rest of Paradigm there. But Beads being down for now means that they can try and look for something.
Look at how powerful Beads 3 were there. He mistimed the flop beads and he beads while he was in the air. The Thor wall came out after. If he just waited a split second longer, that would have been a kill on Vetium.
Oh yeah.
Funballer rotating to the right to help support here because it looks like Enemy, they're looking for potentially the blue buff, which is due up soon here, or catch people on the rotation through the jungle to look to defend on this solo lane.
Right now, Enemy, they've got 3 players here in the right lane by themselves, 2 in the jungle waiting to go ahead and join. They're looking for something. Vision has been dropped. We'll make a decision. Enemy right now, let's ride along with them and hear what they are thinking about making for their next move.
You good. I'm again, don't fight. Wait for beats.
Yeah, wait for beats. Yeah,
we can fight if they force it to.
Thor hammer?
Yeah. Throw hammer. I'm ready for mids.
Wins your beats.
They're group mid. They're group mid.
Yeah, just back
up. Back up. Wins your beats.
Time on beats.
Let's go right. Let's go right.
Wait, who are you talking about?
We should go.
I'll push right.
Okay,
I can hold.
Bait the gold. Kind of work gold. Bait the gold. I have a ward here.
I'm gonna do purple. Yeah, I'll help.
I'm running aggressive. Kind of warding.
I'm going purple.
Nice. Purple now. They're gonna come into us. Take the fight. It's gonna be a good fight.
I have beats.
Bacchus has no magic protection.
Okay, gotcha.
Alright, we look at gold then. Beats are up for everybody.
Push the
You
wave.
have teleport, right, Salt?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. 3 in the right. Yo.
Oh my god.
Go.
Yes,
Salt, get out.
Salt, just get out.
Go. Free go.
He'll go fire. If he doesn't get out. Okay,
Yeah.
burn.
You guys
Soul's
do it.
coming.
You don't mind.
All of them are coming.
He's dead. Yeah, he's dead. Report to Salt. Oh, you're dead. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's alright.
Get
Free
gold.
gold.
You have to rotate the fire now.
It's fine.
Everyone but Vetium.
Wait, just stop.
Beautiful. They're not going
Stall.
Soul fire.
Don't fight. Just stall. Do not full commit.
All by design, 100% by design.
But look at this, it looks like they want to try and start Fire Giant did Paradigm there. They know the goal was down and they're actually looking for Vetium. They're not going to find him, they'll blink away. So back to the waist.
3-man stun.
3-man cackles him into a root from Vetium.
Nice
But flip back in from Xaliea onto Pain with Funballer around the corner. The Geb is in trouble. But here comes Khaos to support. PainDeViande is still alive, only for a second. And Just though is chasing on the backside as a flop from Trixtank comes in.
Is Adjust chasing Lawbster or is Lawbster chasing Adjust? It's Lawbster. Adjust takes the spill.
Look at Vetium though, pushing back 3 alone there on that Neith. Really good play to keep themselves in that. The Fire Giant still stands, and it comes out on top for Enemy.
Enemy did get the Gold Fury, but Paradigm was able to pick up 3 kills.
Yep.
It was, I don't know, it's hard to say who really came out on top there. I feel like kills are worth a lot right now. It looks like Enemy got the better of this because Paradigm wasn't really able to get much off of this. They might get ward coverage, and that might lead into a Fire Giant later in this game. So we'll see right now if Enemy or if Paradigm could take advantage of this.
It's a good gold lead though for Enemy as well here. Just over 4,000 gold rather, with that going down. The experience is still even though the fight went well for Paradigm there afterwards. I still think the Gold Fury made a big impact to that. That second Gold Fury is generally the one that starts to break your team's back. But when you spread that gold out amongst the team, it's still less than 1,000 each. 26 minutes in and looking at the speed buff now. Our Paradigm looking to try and find something out here. What would you be looking for here, Aurora, if you are Paradigm? Are we looking for a potential pick here?
Yeah, pick or just, it's hard to say right now. I feel like they need to get a pick or they need to just hit the front line as hard as possible with the Xbalanque Soul combo. If they're able to do that and pick off one of their heavy tanks in either the Zhong, Bellona, or Geb, that'll be really good for them. Like they did in the right lane. They picked out saltmachine and it led into a really, really good team fight for them.
Well, let's have a little listen to the Paradigm comms here. They're up against it. It's 2-1 in favor of Enemy.
There we go, good poke. I'm level 20.
Now look for it, look for it, look for it.
Group for a pick.
I can go back for heavily now.
Go for it.
For heavily.
Can I tip in?
I'm back. Yeah, I can.
Sweet. We'll, no, not yet.
Come.
Just look for it.
Yeah.
Give us back. No, he's not.
I'm start. So, hey.
Go on, Bellona.
I'm TPing.
Bellona back. Retreat.
Chill. Help him.
I have a
All fine. Go. Go mid. I'm ulting.
I'm on Khaos.
Peace out.
Careful, Freddy.
Khaos, Zhong.
I'm dead.
I got Neith open.
That's in here. Oh, get out. Did you follow him, Fred?
Yeah,
Freddy,
of course.
you shouldn't ult.
It's whatever.
The low though.
Yeah. We're still in a good spot. It's fine.
Yeah, we can still fight them.
I'm just healing up a bit. I have an ultimate 30.
Don't let him back though. Oh.
Just wait for me. I think it's best to wait for me. Yeah.
You
gotta be with us.
Thought we could catch him.
No. We saw you're the only one that can go through there except for.
Heavily up at 45. I used it a bit too early to be fair. I thought it was gonna get
full Titans.
They're all grouping
I
again.
have ultimate 13.
Only one keyword. Just chill, go back. Fall back.
I'm ulting here. Ulting for Peel.
Fuck, I got changed.
They're low?
I couldn't get out of that.
Get off more.
Get on Salt.
Probably dead.
I got completely changed this.
Back in the fight as we watch Funballer fall down here. Looks like we're going to see Enemy push on, looking for the kill onto Lawbster. They fall too.
There's 5 members of Enemy. There's 1 member of Paradigm. And that is going to hurt a lot for the European squad.
Big thing to talk about as this Phoenix falls down was the comms of Paradigm. They sounded excited. Qvofred tried to make a big play on a just, but a good turnaround from Enemy really worked out well for them. And then the worst thing is that Lawbster, one of the quietest men in the history of Europe, is the loudest person I could hear on the comms afterwards.
Yeah, Lawbster right here. One of the things that Lawbster has been so good for this Paradigm team as Enemy starts out the Fire Giant is he is the rock. He is the one person that keeps this, that keeps everything going through thick or thin. Lawbster's the guy that keeps the team grounded. So it's important to have him making those statements and calls. Right now, though, doesn't look good for Lawbster and his squad. Enemy sitting pretty up, almost 10 grand. Fire Giant, tower falls. Enemy's gonna back and make a look for a final push.
At first, when they pushed down mid, it looked like Enemy could almost finish the game, but then you look to the sides, both towers stand on both sides.
That's
4
true.
towers. The Titans going to be very strong with those towers up.
Very, very true. And that's one of the reasons we didn't see the potential end there. Even though it's 30 minutes into the game and the respawns are getting there right now. But this experience in gold lead, that's not that bad right now in terms of experience because it relatively doesn't matter. But the gold is making more of an impact as time's gone on. These fights, I think Qvofred just overextended a little bit. And I think he went on a different target to everybody else in that engagement.
Yeah. That fight between Qvofred and Just summed up the series, I feel like. If enemy ends up winning that, that's probably one of the biggest fights in the series. Because if Qvo came out on top, Paradigm might have had a chance to do Fire Giant there.
And the funny thing is, I believe Vetium once again was involved in that because he got the World Weaver off to just help turn it around and help out his boy in the jungle. The sign of enemy and their strength as a whole team unit.
And another thing to look at too, Zhong went into the center of 5 people and took out Xbalanque and then just walked out with his beads fine. So Khaos has been playing this Zhong amazing. I feel like he's the top Zhong in the world right now.
I feel like he's the only Zhong. I have sat here, and I've sat here all day yesterday. And I don't like the Zhong. We saw it in Super Regionals. You buy a shell, it's over, it's done with. Khaos has performed on it, it's worked. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the left-hand tower falls one more time.
And he's made multiple plays on it. He's made big team fight plays. The teleport play,
that's what I'm saying.
That was crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It's not just, hey, I'm Zhong and I'm going to do it. He's making these plays that we don't see. We don't see these stuns happen. We don't see these heals interact the way Khaos is making it work.
Tier 2 to on the right now falls down, and the boys of enemy marching on with their Fire Giant. There's got a little bit of time remaining still. Good amount to start sieging this Phoenix on the right-hand side.
All 5 looking here.
Trixtank
jumps in.
That's not
belly
good.
flop off the mark. Intoxicate hits 4. Thor's in the air, looking for the counter engage. Lands on 2, gets a stun, adjusts, turning it around with a big overhand smash.
Khaos, though, had the extra protections from his ultimate. Adjusted a back shot to the monkey and finds the kill on Qvo. He's juking out Funballer. Flop comes in, but look at saltmachine. He kills him. Lawbster.
Time in the back.
Still there. And Xaliea falls too. North America.
With the
Enemy are going to the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, your North American dark horse enemy has fought through thick and thin. No one thought they would make it, and they are going to the finals.
3 U teams came, 2 have now fallen. An enemy are the ones to stand supreme. They've defeated Fnatic, they've defeated Paradigm. Who will they face in the finals?
Oh my, there are 6 people that thought that this team could do it. They are on that stage, and wherever Clerky is, they knew that this team would be able to do it. And you know what? After watching these games here at Worlds, I can't believe anybody ever questioned them.
To be fair, we all questioned them from the start. This was a rookie team that was picked up. We said 7th, 8th in the Pro League. Good luck, have fun. Don't know what you were thinking, PainDeViande. That's what the community was saying as well. Everyone thought the same way. Listen to the crowd.
All of a
sudden, enemy.
I hear an arena chanting for enemy. This is an enchanting game. I want to hear everything. Kelly, let's talk to enemy.
Thank you so much, After I'm joined here by enemy guys. So how do you guys feel about him? You know what? Since the Super Regionals, since the splits, people have been doubting you guys, but I don't think anyone here is doubting you anymore. How do you feel about your players, Pain?
I have no voice anymore. I should yell too much in the game, so I can't say. Good job, boys. You're the best. I love you all. You carry me to Worlds. Now you're giving me money for pressing 4 on Capri. I love it. Thank you. You're the best.
Now, I know some of you probably weren't here earlier, and some of you might not know, but it's actually Vetium's birthday. So, can we get a happy birthday on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. How are you feeling, man? I'm gonna move right over here.
I'm feeling great. This is the best 16th birthday present I could have ever gotten.
Wait, 16?
Yeah.
It's cool, a 16-year-old about to win a few $100,000. How does that feel?
Feels great. I don't know how else to describe it.
Well, congratulations, you guys, and good luck going up against the finals tomorrow. Guys, let's go back to the analysts.
Wow. What a game we just witnessed there, folks. Enemy are going to the finals. Welcome back to the Alienware Analyst Desk. Lots of stuff to break down here. You know, the streak is over. My streak of calling things right has come to an end. But you know what, though? I'm not, yeah, I know, right? You're the 1 and 3 and 1. I think, you know, I would just say this. For Enemy, a lot of people sold them out. They, you know, sold them off. They were just like, hey, they're not going to do this. Paradigm, #1 team out of Europe, too good. And for a moment there, it looked like Paradigm were in full control. Actually, I want to go over to you because this one definitely stings the nostrils, I would say. What do you think about it?
feels bad, man. That kind of sums it up, you know. But we still have Epsilon, right? Adapting and the rest of the boys. Easy. Cloud9's going down. EU to win Worlds. Still calling it.
It's still gone.
No, but seriously, well played, though, too.
Talk about the wrap-up to that game, Adonis. Obviously, very intense moment there for Enemy as they were just looking to clear everyone out. What exactly happened in that situation?
I mean, it's just Enemy executing their comp perfectly, and once again, the failure of Paradigm players to learn how to adapt to team fighting against North Americans, you know? That's why Circuit worked so well for them. That's why, you know, the Ton Batz is working so well for them. Just the assassins and junglers and frontliners are just able to dive their back line, and there's no protection for their carries. And, you know, once again, Lawbster, phenomenal performance on Soul. 2 games in a row. He carried last game, and he potentially could have carried this game, but he got no help, and he just kept getting dove. And they're just like, you know, Trixtank, like, I just want to go kill stuff, and, you know, they failed to adapt.
Yeah, and I think we found out why they were banning the Batz earlier. They definitely knew from scrims how effective a Justice Batz was going to be. Absolutely incredible play coming out from him. At the same time, nothing taken away from Lawbster. Lawbster played so well, but the rest of his team just couldn't get anything together.
Yeah,
I think for me, Just is really, he's made a big name for himself this entire tournament, and I think anyone going forward, you know, regardless,
he's made an adjustment to how people think about him now?
I would say so. Ignoring the awful pun, I would say that he has, and Just is a player to watch out for, a player to fear. He's been doing amazing work, and he's shown that it's not just the cat, you know, it's him.
Also, not to mention, did anybody think that Saltmachine was going to consistently beat Xaliea? I mean, consistently
every
in lane.
Single game.
Every game.
Every game. He was beating Xaliea, who everybody came in. I mean, he had so many cheers coming for him. They thought it was going to be easy for Xaliea to take this lane away from Saltmachine, that was going to be the weak lane, and he consistently shown that he was the better player.
And they even ran the same matchup back. They did a hi-rez versus Qvofred, and then they swapped it around, and Saltmachine got the good end of both matchups. So, I mean, you know, you just have to give him props that he just played better than Xaliea today by a mile.
Okay, I want to ask you guys something real quick. Heading into this tournament, who would you say individually was the best player on Enemy? Real quick.
I would have probably said Pain.
And then would you say Vetium number 2?
Yeah.
Who's been the one we've said the least this tournament?
Khaos. No,
Vetium.
sorry.
I was going for Vetium. No,
yeah,
dude.
you just messed up your whole plan.
All right.
I agree.
That was like
Good
America
try.
1.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, I feel like we haven't really seen Vetium do anything, you know, exceedingly crazy. He's been fantastic. He's hit a lot of nice stun weaves, but outside of that, it's really been the Saltmachine and Pain showing up consistently, and Adjust as well. Like, those 3 members have been so phenomenal, not just playing at the, which one are we going to see level, but world-class levels. And PainDeViande, Geb Shields, and Kepriolt's perfect timing. Their land play is undeniably some of the best we've seen improvement-wise over online, right? They're kind of like last year's SK or Fnatic, where online couldn't do anything. They're just like middle of the road, bottom of the road, and then come to LAN, they are just destroying everyone.
It's that their team fights and their comps, they are playing, you know, they're picking perfectly, and you say it over and over, they are, and because it's true, you know, they pick these comps, and then they execute them perfectly every single time. It's like a, you know, they see an event and then they respond correctly, and then the team fight unfolds always in their favor.
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, we predicted how the games are going to turn out individually throughout the entirety of the series from the picks and bans. We could see exactly what's going to turn out. The one game that Paradigm had the better draft, everybody's like, oh yeah, this is the Paradigm game. They have the better draft here. So Paradigm needs to go back to the drawing board for next season and make sure that they have those drafts figured out, because Enemy is the best drafter in the entire world right now.
Well, but even then, though, I think more so it's, yeah, I mean, yes, the drafts do make sense, and that is one portion of the game. But as I, you know, jokingly referenced to yesterday, I mean, it's still a video game after all. You still need to actually play the game. And the one thing that Paradigm does, you know, I would say not so well, is being able to work together and team fight their opponent. And that has happened. We saw that break down every time. And then speaking of breaking down, when you jumped into the comms for that listening,
oh, that was bad.
It sounded like someone killed their cat. And it's like, well, you know what, man, your cat's still alive. It's still in this, you know, like, believe. And it just, I don't know. I mean, like, that actually really did catch me off guard. I was expecting more hype out of a team that had their backs against the wall, knew that this was their last opportunity to make it to the finals, and yet it just sounded depressing.
It was so bad, especially, you know, even F-Dot mentioned it, you know, Lawbster, or Hindu did, you know, Lawbster typically a little bit laid back, but he was the loudest one in the communications, right? In that, the crucial turning point around that fire giant, the mid-camp area kind of, more towards Paradigm near their tier 1 or tier 2 tower, I believe it was Xaliea who started getting picked off by Lawbster. He had caught them, and then all that we heard was, Lawbster said, I'm ulting. No one else said a word. No one was saying a word. And even before that, when Qvofred lost the 1v1 against Adjust, people actually started arguing. I don't remember who it was. Someone calmed them down immediately, but immediately was like, what were you doing? Why were you doing this? And they started, you know, back and forth for a couple seconds. They calmed down, but that's just clearly a team that mentally wasn't there. Their communication wasn't there. And I think that's why we saw the bad team fights, because they weren't communicating effectively.
Yeah, and then that is unfortunate without a doubt. But for Enemy, it is good times through and through. As you can see right there, our first finalist here. Enemy moves forward past Paradigm in what was one of the craziest matches of this entire competition here. And coming up next, it is going to be the semifinal that everyone in here has been eagerly anticipating. Cloud9 versus Epsilon Esports will be your second semifinal match of the day. But before we actually jump into this game here, folks, and I know everyone is super excited about it, you know, we do want to say that hi-rez has been doing a phenomenal job throughout the year of supporting charity initiatives, right? They've been, you know, giving a lot, and I think this is going to be a good opportunity to take a look and recap some of those charity initiatives that hi-rez did.
Hey everyone, I'm Gary Mahelli from the hi-rez Studios PR department, and today we just want to talk to you a little bit about what an awesome year it has been for charity. So if you remember, earlier this year we had the Spring Fling charity event where we had some SVL teams from North America and Europe join us here in the hi-rez office. There was some pie in the face, there was some cat food that got eaten, and Hitman barfed. It was wonderful. Thank you guys so much. But you were able to raise over $17,000 for the American Cancer Society. Later in the year, we also had the Nepal relief chest. If you guys remember that, there was the earthquake that displaced people, and the chest went to help Red Cross in their efforts to help everyone in and around Nepal. You guys raised $200,000 for that across PC and Xbox, which is absolutely amazing. Later in the year, we also had the second annual Esports Summerland, where you guys raised another $2,600 for Red Cross. Now, the 2015 holiday chess promotion going on in-game. We've worked with Child's Play charity a couple times in the past to raise money for children's hospitals across the world. And this time around, you guys have raised already $170,000, all before Christmas. So we just want to say thank you to everyone in the Smite community for helping us give to these awesome, awesome events throughout the year. We can't thank you guys enough, and it is an honor and a privilege to be part of a community that gives back so much. Thank you again, and we're looking forward to next year, 2016. Take care, guys.
Thank you guys so much. If you guys have seen hi-rez's streams before, you guys are probably aware that we love to be a part of charities. And last year we became we partnered up with Child's Play during the Child's Play Chest. And it is my privilege to show you guys all that we have raised $244,000 to Child's Play. Child's Play is an organization with a network of over 100 hospitals that seeks to improve the lives of kids by bringing toys and video games to those who need it most. Kristen, is there anything you'd like to add?
I just wanted to thank the Smite community so much. This is absolutely incredible. This is a perfect example of how we can share our love of video games and have fun and also raise money for a fantastic cause. Child's Play, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Smite community and hi-rez Studios, for making this possible. This is absolutely incredible.
Stu, as the president of the company, I'm sure it's great to be able to bring a game to so many people, but also to be able to be a part of a charity. How does that feel? And you know what? Why don't you send us off as well?
Okay. First of all, this is all about you guys, Smite community. You guys did this, not us. So give yourselves a really big hand. Raise your dongers for that one. And you know, every child deserves to play. This is deserves a chance to play. This is a charity we've worked with several times in the past. They're fantastic. You know, I encourage everyone to continue to support them in the various ways that you can. And thank you again, Smite fans, and we'll be right back after a break.
Favorite memory is Game 5 of Worlds against Titan when we got the Fire Giant stealth dashed over the wall and he hit the 3-man route into the Scylla ult and we just destroyed Titan.
我表现最好的一场比赛应该是在16进8我们对战EC 男队的那一场，我的克罗斯抓住对面一波失误，然后最后翻盘。
One of my favorite memories as my pro player would be probably PAX Prime. That was my first LAN event. We got second place. It was with Denial Esports. I was playing with Mesa to Face, Jeff Inla, Pon, and I think Rush back at the time. And that team was like an amazing team. All the players were great, both players and as persons. So yeah, it was a blast. I loved it.
我个人觉得我表现的最好的一场是和 QG 决赛的最后一场。
Oh, I definitely have a favorite memory. Back it was about 2 years ago, I think, the launch tournament. It was my birthday, and obviously we won the tournament, which was probably the biggest moment, and nothing will probably not top that.
Creo que había una competición que yo no estaba jugando muy bien y si nosotros no ganásemos los partidos del torneo, yo no tenía más equipo porque ellos irían me sacar. Entonces, como para mí fue ganar o ganar, porque si yo había perdido, yo no estaría acá, yo no estaría cerca de viajar para el Mundial, representando Brasil y también Latinoamérica.
Must have been when we won the kickoff LAN, like when the Pro League started in Germany, because we came in as last seed and this first LAN I've ever been to. We didn't think that much of us back then because then again we almost didn't make it there, and then we came there and we won the whole thing, so that was really good.
我觉得我这个赛季每一场表现都比较一般吧。如果要说的话，可能是之前对 OMG 那场败者组第一局吧，我的人头比较多，然后死的也比较少 ，KD 比较高。
Favorite memory? There was one time we were about to win the game, and I went to their fountain and I bought a rod of Tahuti, and I heard Bart go on the thing. He goes, "Man, what a play!" You know, even though the game ended literally 2 seconds later.
我觉得我这个赛季表现最好的是4强里面的第一把吧。对面疯狂针对我，20分钟一个蓝 buff 都没拿到，还是顶住压力开瑞了吧。
My favorite memories as my pro player is really the first time I've been casted. It was in a Challenger Cup, like Amateur Cup. And so it's not really a big game, but I got casted by DM Brandon, and I was playing already solo at that time. I used to be a mid lane player, but I played draw and I hit a triple snipe. And DM Brandon was really hyping the play up, and it was just a good feeling seeing it on stream, seeing everything. It was amazing.
Probably like the last few days. Just, you know, when we were playing online, it was cool. Like, I guess we're professional Smite players, but it's only like the last few days it sort of like hit me that, like, you know, this is a real thing, and it's been quite exciting.